DAZN is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year.
It's over! There's no way back from this, surely!
Everything is difficult in this life, so still you need to be on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
That is what sport means. That is what the EuroLeague trophy means. Are you not entertained? I'm not supposed to be cheering, but this is X Series. I can do whatever I want.
This has been a coming together. This has been a light bulb moment.
Two top promoters in the UK have never even met.
I know how to fight, and I'll fight to win.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time. A night to remember. It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Fight Week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights, even before the bell rings.
I hope you guys enjoy this fight as much as I will.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now! Let's go. How do you like it? On the shot, so aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this. With a corner knockout. Still the undisputed champion of the world. Press conference, live on DAZN.
Yeah, it's your boy Art.
And I'm Barack the Boxing Bully.
And over 50 years ago, Joe Frazier dealt Muhammad Ali his first career loss in the fight of the century right here at MSG.
And in 48 hours, we're about to make boxing history again, just a few blocks away in Times Square.
As Ryan Garcia looks for redemption, as suspension saw him sidelined for a year, and Rolly Romero looks to prove Tank Davis right by knocking out King Rye.
And Devin Haney is prepared to show Jose Ramirez that he's levels above. And the talks about his chin, all of those questions, nonsense.
Plus, Teofimo Lopez is trying to steal the show as his opponent, Arnold Barboza Jr., looks to shock the world.
We are 48 hours away, and this is their last chance to sell a fight at the press conference, live on DAZN.
On DAZN Worldwide, Friday, May 2nd, 6 p.m. Eastern. Garcia versus Romero. King Rye returns in a history-making Times Square takeover, featuring Haney versus Ramirez and Teofimo versus Barboza Jr. Witness a fight night never seen before on a knockout weekend of boxing. Get Garcia versus Romero Friday, May 2nd. Live exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Times Square will take center stage for the return of one of boxing's brightest stars as he faces hard-hitting Rolly Romero in a star-studded card, also including Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez and two super lightweights that don't like each other at all, Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza Jr., and they'll be fighting for the WA Super Lightweight Championship of the world. We are live at the Manhattan Center for the final press conference for Ring Magazine's Garcia versus Romero, powered by Fatal Fury, the city of the Wolves. I go by the name of Ak, joined by my co-host Barack, the boxing bully. Barack, we're 2 sleeps away from a historic event in Times Square, New York City. I can't believe we're here.
I can't either. And I was thinking, how are we going to talk about the same thing 5 days in a row until I walked past where they was putting up the whole ring over there on 43rd Street, and I said, oh my God, this is Times Square. How are they doing this? This is incredible.
And speaking of the stage, I also walked in, and as I envisioned who should be on a grand stage like that, Ryan Garcia is the perfect athlete for that stage. He's been on big stages. Even though he was on stage with Ryan, with Tank Davis, this is different. This is Times Square, NYC. He's a perfect guy. He's been a star before being in the ring. He's becoming a star inside the ring, and he's a perfect guy for the job.
That's exactly right. I think being a star on social media prepared him for this. 12.5 million followers. Millions of those followers are right here in this city.
Yeah.
You see it. This place is full because of him right now. And that night is going to be crazy. People are going to be watching screens yelling Ryan Garcia's name.
But he's used to the bright lights, Barack. That's why all week we've been noticing that he's super comfortable. During the media workouts, he came there relaxed. I mean, doing the pad work, joined again by Derek James.
I like that.
But also, there was a guy in the audience that does a lot of smack talking, but he's not a fighter.
The guy he really wants to fight.
He's Devin Haney's dad, Bill Haney, was shooting shots at Ryan Garcia and his father. But, Barack, you got to think about it. He's a father first before a trainer and a manager.
Yeah.
And obviously, Bill Haney feels like Ryan Garcia and his team did his son wrong, and he's never going to forget that.
That's so true. I hope at least after the next fight, if it happens, that he does forgive him and at least we can move on. But look, this is psychological warfare. You interrupt the man's time. That's what you do. You come in, you yelling stuff. What happened? What happened? With all this stuff he was yelling, why? To get in his brain, let him know I'm here. You did my son, like you said, you did my son wrong, but that's a father. Wouldn't you?
Bill Haney's a smart man. He knows how to get in people's head. Ryan is
Look at Ryan. He fired back
now.
a little bit. You know why? Because the crowd is on his side.
He was talking about him not being in shape, but then he started attacking Ryan's dad as well, because Ryan's father, he's no chump either. He's going to talk smack back.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I think that's where Ryan got it from. They're witty, they're smart, but guess who else is witty? Bill Haney is witty. He creates these videos, they're hilarious, but at the end of the day, he's a father. And if you fail a drug test, obviously as a father, you're going to say, you did my son wrong. Let's run this back.
And we're talking about Ryan, right? Like, I mean, he still has a tough task, and Rolly Romero, who's hard hitting. But you talked about Devin Haney and his father. Devin also looked very comfortable yesterday at the media workout. Yeah. He has a huge chip on his shoulder. He has a lot to prove. He feels like he was done wrong against Ryan. He didn't fight a fair fight. I always said he's one of the best boxers in boxing. In that fight against Ryan, he almost got outboxed at times. So he wants to prove to the world that in a fair fight, in his eyes, nobody can beat him.
Not necessarily outboxed. He got caught. Because in the second, third, fourth round, he was beating Ryan to the punch. He was outboxed, and he even hurt him in the second round. Yeah. But he did get caught, and he shouldn't have probably been in close range. But did you see the way he hopped into that ring? This boy is vibrant.
He's strong in that weight class. He's feeling good at a heavier weight class. And look, Barack, I beg to differ. I think he showed a good chin in that fight because he did win rounds, to your point, but he got up from those knockdowns, right? When you're chinny, you don't get up from knockdowns.
Why you say you beg to differ?
No, what I'm saying of the what the audience is saying that he's chinny because he got dropped. He got up from those shots, right, and won rounds.
Chinny is like, I hate to say it,
right.
I don't want to say his name, Amir Khan. I'm sorry. No, but Amir Khan steps up in class, fights guys like Canelo. He gets hit, he gets knocked out, you don't get up. That's chinny. Not getting hit and then getting back up. That's not chinny.
No, you're right about that. Look, like I said earlier.
Because look, Ryan Garcia puts people to sleep in one shot.
This is a star-studded card in Times Square. Another guy that was having more fun than anybody all week. I'm talking about jumping, flipping, dancing on the ropes. Teofimo Lopez. He calls himself the Takeover Barack. I haven't seen this young man smile. We've known him in some dark days, right? A lot of depression, even considered suicide. He didn't know what to do. Look at him now, thriving, shining. He understands what's at stake in Times Square on Friday night. He's ready for the moment. Look at him, Barack.
That's your favorite move right there. I know you like that move right there. Listen, everything he does is graceful, is beautiful. Backflip. Look, this guy is the most athletic fighter probably in boxing.
And it's funny with Teofimo, he faces a lot of criticism, Barack, but when it comes to the big fight, he wins and shines. When you talk about Lomachenko, you talk about Josh Taylor, these are the fights that count. Pretty much undisputed type of fights. He shines and looks phenomenal doing it. So I think he gets more criticism than he deserves.
Right, that's a good point. I mean, but he's not getting beat up. You know what I mean? People are criticizing him for not winning spectacularly because that's what we're used to. We're used to you knocking guys out like Comey or beating the best, you know, and making them look bad and moving. Sometimes you're going to have bad nights. Floyd Mayweather didn't have great nights all the time.
Right.
And he never lost. So I get it, but I don't get it.
Well, we got a whole fight card. Look, a lot of great fights. We'll get into all that. Starting off with Ryan Garcia versus Romero for a 12th-round welterweight championship fight. It's a title fight. Devin Haney moving up in weight against Jose Ramirez. First fight at welterweight, Barack. They both look strong at that weight class. This is for the WA Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza Jr. This is going to be a barn burner, Barack. I hate using that, but it is what it is. After that, making his pro debut, amateur standout, Rito Sasumi versus Lavelle Whittington in a 6-round featherweight showdown. And then the battle of the badges. That's right. The fire department, James Canary versus NYPD's Joel Allen in a 3-round fight. Let's get this press conference started and shoot over to my guy, David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here today to the Manhattan Center for the press conference for Fatal Fury, a huge night of World Championship professional boxing taking place this Friday, May 2nd, from the crossroads of the world, Times Square, New York City. It's all being brought to you courtesy of the Bible of Boxing Ring Magazine, SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, and Box Raw. We're sponsored by the Public Investment Fund, Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the national airline of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Milaf Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, NHC, Jocko, Sky, Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. Ladies and gentlemen, this historic night with 3 main events is available worldwide. You can buy the pay-per-view now at DAZN.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the final press conference, so let's get it underway, and let's go ahead and start with our first contest and bring the fighters up to the stage. It is a great light heavyweight attraction, the Battle of the Badges, the FDNY versus the NYPD. That is the bravest versus the finest. And now making his way to the dais, please welcome, representing the NYPD, a proud member of New York's finest, Joel Allen. And now making his way to the stage, representing the FDNY, he's a courageous member of the fire department, New York's bravest, James Gennari. Our next contest and the next fighters coming to the stage, it's a special featherweight attraction First making his way to the stage, he fights out of the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. Please welcome LaVal Whittington. And now making his way to the dais. Saturday night, he'll be making his much anticipated professional debut. In 2021, he captured gold at the World Youth Championships. He is now a ring ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Southpaw sensation from Nurashino, Chiba, Japan, Reito Tsutsumi. And now, on behalf of Ring Magazine, I'd like to welcome your host for today, Mr. Wade Plemons.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are 48 hours away from history in the making as boxing takes on a new look, presented by the Ring Magazine. I want to say a special thank you to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for making all of this possible, and of course, our 3 main event level main card featuring Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza Jr. for the WBO Super Lightweight Championship of the World. A welterweight matchup between undisputed and united, Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Thank you. My first time here today, folks. I appreciate it. And in that main event, we have Ryan Garcia versus Romero for the WBA regular welterweight championship. But before we get there, we have our preliminary card press conference. And for more on all of the things you need to know about this undercard, I have on stage with me the COO of the Ring Magazine, Mr. Rick Reno.
Thanks, Wade. Well, first I want to thank everyone for being here. And, you know, this event is like a big, giant, beautiful cake. And we wanted to put the cherry on top, which is the professional debut of Japanese sensation Reito Tsutsumi. And this guy, I followed him in the amateurs. He's an unbelievable talent. The minute he turned professional, people in his country, the experts, the insiders, they were saying, this guy will be the next superstar of our country. He'll be a future world champion. He will be the next guy to headline mega events. And he's embraced all of that. He hasn't been, you know, rattled by the lights, the entire event, and his people believe in him, his team believes in him, and more importantly, he believes in himself, and everyone at the ring believes in him, and that's why we made him a ring ambassador. And 2 days away, it's showtime, and now it's up to him to display his skills on the world stage. And I fully expect him to impress. And we also, as a native New Yorker, I can always appreciate watching a cop and a firefighter trade punches in the ring. But given the amount of traffic tickets I've received over the years, I'm a little bit biased in the outcome. So I'll hit it back to Wade and let everyone speak.
Thank you, Rick. I want to start with our first fight of the evening, Battle of the Badges, but I think for so many more people in the city of New York and around the world, every fighter that will get on stage today has courage. They have willpower and they have hearts of a lion. But it takes it a little bit further when you talk about the men and women of our service departments in every city across America and across the world. I just want to make sure that we take a moment now to respect those men and women and the men on stage that serve us every single day and make sure we're safe and sound, because that's where the real heroes are. With that being said, I want to start with you, Joel. Battle of the Badges, baby. We're here, and I just want to know your thoughts on fighting in your city in front of your people.
Well, first, gotta thank God, because without him, nothing's possible. Thank His Excellency, thank Matchroom, Golden Boy for this opportunity. I mean, I'm blown away. This is like a childhood dream, like 25 years ago. But I'm here, I have the opportunity. I came from a program, Police Athletic League, when I was a kid. Without that program, I wouldn't be a police officer, I wouldn't be serving my city, I wouldn't be serving my community. Cops and Kids has made superstars in boxing and outside. So that's what I fight for. That's what my heart is. You know, sorry about the traffic tickets. That's really not my thing, but I'm all about the community. I'm all about the kids, and that's what I plan to put on for my city, NYC.
Thank you. And James, you're representing FDNY. Obviously, there's a big rivalry here. It's maybe unspoken between you, but very outspoken in the public. How are you feeling and representing the FDNY in front of your city?
We love our boys in blue. I know he's going to bring it. I'm going to bring it. You got to have balls to do both of our jobs, I think. You got to have balls to step in the ring. And you don't get a nose like this from being in boring fights. So it's going to be a fun fight for sure. And I'm ready for it.
You know, I heard that there's a little experience already between you two, that potentially there's a bit of a rivalry brewing between you personally. It seems like you may need to seek some revenge here, as Joel has gotten some wins over the FDNY previously.
That he has. That's why I say I know he's going to bring it. And, you know, I'm not going to say it's personal, but I'm bringing by a game for sure. You know, he's beat every fireman that I know of, but he hasn't fought me yet.
Joel, any response there? Like he said, you're pretty dominant when it comes to the rivalry. How do you look to this one?
This 40-year-old warhorse, I got a few tricks up my sleeve, so, you know, he could be added to the list respectfully.
This is only a 3-round matchup, Joel. Do you look to go in there and close the show before those 3 rounds are out?
Listen, you don't leave it in the hands of the judges, you know. I'm going in there to win. You know, this is a big event. It's a big opportunity. I don't plan on embarrassing NYPD. I know he doesn't plan on embarrassing FDNY. So we look to put on a performance, and you know, you don't get paid for overtime. So
absolutely, James. Same question. How do you see this going? 3 rounds. You got to get to work early.
I do have work the next day. I mean, so it'd be nice if I get a first-round knockout, but unfortunately I don't have strong, you know, power shots. But we'll see. You know, I'm gonna put everything into it, and yeah, hopefully we can wrap up early. But I'll be ready for a 3-round fight. If it goes to the judges, doesn't really matter.
There it is, folks. Your first fight on the night. A big round of applause for James Gennari and Joel Allen. And I would call it the main event of our preliminary card. We see Rito Tsusumi make his pro debut versus LaVale Whittington. LaVale, I'll start with you. Feels like everyone is overlooking you in this matchup. I've actually called one of your fights down in Caguas, Puerto Rico. You are a guy that says yes when opportunity comes. You've been to Puerto Rico. You're now here in New York. What's your message to the people of what's going to happen Friday night?
First off, I want to thank God. I want to thank my family, all my supporters at home. You know, Matchroom and everybody for giving me this opportunity. Like you say, you called my fight, so you know how I get. Y'all overlooking me, that's cool and all. I ain't want y'all to expect me to win. But Friday night, y'all gonna see the best version of LaVale Whittington.
There it is. And for you, Rito, like I said, a lot of wonderment, a lot of things for you to show. A great amateur career, but now you're in the pro scene. How did things change in your debut?
そうですね、自分は今回プロデビュー戦で、多くの人に見てもらえると思うんですけど、インパクトのある勝ち方と倒し方で世界に見てもらっている人々に すごいやつ来たなっていうふうに思ってもらえる試合をしますので、応援よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, it is my debut fight, so I would like for all the people in the world to see my fight. And what I want to do is I want to make a really good impact for the people who's watching the fight for the Friday night. And I want people to see who is this guy. I want to make my name for myself for this fight.
There's no better city to do it than right here in New York. Speaking of making a name for yourself, LaVale's record might not speak to it, but he's a tough guy in there. I've seen it firsthand. 6 rounds in your debut. How do you look to handle a tough opponent right out of the gate?
Getting stepped on.
そうですね、プロデビュー、プロでの経験もある選手なので、しっかり自分のボクシングを貫いてやってきたことを出し切る、それだけだと思っています。
Yeah, I know he has some experience as a pro, and it is my debut as a pro, but I do want to embrace my experience as an amateur, and if I do my fight, I think I'll be fine.
LaVale, any prediction from you in this fight? 6 rounds, he's making his debut. You have a little more experience. You think you're going to shock a lot of people on Friday night?
Plan on shocking a lot of people and getting my hand raised, whether it's by knockout or unanimous decision. If you come in crazy, it's going to be an early night.
I don't know if you heard that, Rito, but he said if you come in crazy, you're going down. He looks to put you away. If you think it's an easy road, it's not going to be that.
Make sure you translate that.
口ではいくらでも言えるぞというそんな感じですね。
Well, it's easy for you to say in the world, but you got to show it on the actions.
LaVale, any response?
Friday night. That's all I'm going to say. Friday night. Just prepared to be in for the fight of your life, man. Translate that.
He said he's in for the fight of his life on Friday night. He said Rito is in for the fight of his life on Friday night.
You're going to be fighting for his life on Friday night.
そうですね。今までプロデビューですけど、プロデビューに向けてやってきたことを100% 出し切るだけだと思うので、自分も試合をすごく楽しんで悔いなくやりたいなと思います。
Yeah, I just want to enjoy the fight on the Friday night. It's my debut fight, but I want to enjoy it, embrace it. I want to do my best to do my performance on the ring.
And I think we'll leave the rest for the action on Friday. I want one more. I'm going to ask you one question, Rick. First off, the suit, the fit is looking immaculate. I know that you're dressed down today, but I know it's going to rise as we get closer to the card. But you spoke to this undercard. I want you to speak just a little bit about how important it was to do it right here in New York.
Well, for me as a New Yorker, it was very important to do it in New York. Like I'd stated in an earlier conference, we wanted to do something that was out of the box, something that had never been done before. And I think early on, a lot of the critics didn't believe this event would happen. They thought it would be a bait and switch. Oh, they're not going to do it there. They'll probably at the last minute move it to Barclays or the Garden or somewhere else. But I think as the days have come closer and the weeks have come closer, a lot of those critics have been forced to eat their words because now they're starting to believe. And now all the A-listers are contacting us, the celebrities are contacting us. We're like overwhelmed with the amount of people that want to be in Times Square. And if you can't make it there, it's definitely an event you don't want to miss, and I would go right to DAZN.com and buy that pay-per-view.
You heard it there, folks. Do not miss it this Friday. This is your preliminary card. We're going to get these fighters up and face them off in front of you guys. Give us one more hand for our fighters on stage.
All right, joining me now, our guy, editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, and one of the best 154-pounders in the world, Virgil Ortiz. Virgil, first off, I'm looking at your knuckle as soon as you step up on stage. It's still looking swollen. That fight was a while ago. How bad were you injured, in the Matrimony fight?
So I had a broken knuckle, one of my knuckle bones. I had to get something removed out of it. And we're like on week 5 right now of my recovery process. So it shouldn't be too long before I can start hitting things in the gym right now. But we still need some time.
But you said that, I talked to you off air, and you said that you didn't even feel when it happened in the fight. Like, it didn't hurt.
No. I have an idea. He had his head down, and I just hit him with like a 1-2 hook or something like that. And I hit the top of his head because he kept his head down.
Well, bro, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say, I broke my hand in the second round. It was killing me, but I fought through it, buddy.
That Rocky Balboa story, huh? I should have said that. I'll say that next time. Scratch all that.
Absolutely.
What do you think about this, Virgil? I mean, these guys, fire department, NYPD, getting front center stage in Times Square. You know, these guys fight for the city. Yes. What do you think they're going through right now?
Sorry?
What do you think these guys are going through? The fireman versus a police officer on such a big stage.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, they're fighting each other.
That's how you get back to the city. That's how you support your city.
See, I heard him, but I was like, there's no way he just told me that right now. That's crazy.
They sounded like boxers.
Okay.
They sounded like boxers.
Okay,
I would get paid for overtime.
Doug, what do you think about that?
That's exciting.
I mean, it's they have like a series. They call it the bravest versus the finest.
Right.
And they have shows where it's made. Yeah, you've been to something like in the theater, Madison Square Garden. The entire card is cops versus firefighters, and it's always good fights.
How about this guy? Look, making his pro debut right far away from his country on such a big stage. Do you remember when you had your first pro debut, the nerves you was going through?
Yeah, I was nervous, man. I went out there swinging. I just started throwing because I didn't know what else to do, you know, but you calm down after a while.
Yeah, but, you know, they didn't get a guy that just came to lay down. Look at him. First of all, I saw him doing the open workout. He didn't get tired. They really did a workout, and he didn't get tired.
And the opponent has technique, too?
Yes, he has some technique as well. Even though he's an amateur standout, Susumi, I think he came to fight.
Yeah, no, this is a test. I mean, listen, if His Excellency is going to have a brand ambassador for the magazine, he wants to test him right away and see if he's actually worthy of that position.
Speaking of His Excellency, I can't go over this event, Doug. I mean, I know you're involved to some degree, but like even when you first heard that we're going to shut a part of Times Square down, and then it's not only a showcase fight, just like some regular fighters. These are top-level fighters, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Do you think you can pull it off?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. Okay, just to close off that section of Times Square, just to take over those jumbotrons and those giant ad screens just for 2 hours of that. I can't even imagine how much money. But beyond that,
I thought you was going to say the number.
Yeah. I'm not going to give the number. Just imagine.
More than 10 million, maybe.
Oh, yes, definitely.
My God.
But just the permits. There's like probably 30, 35 different city bureaus and departments that you got to get the permits for to do that. So it was a lot of work, a lot of red tape to go through, but it was worth it to do it because it's unprecedented.
No, I mean, a lot of people talk about being innovative in the sport, but it's one thing to do it. That's why His Excellency, people say, oh, the savior of boxing, or he's changed boxing, but he's making these kind of spectacles, but also the matchups are great. It's not only where it's at.
The matchups are going to appease hardcore fans. Because if you're a hardcore fan, obviously, you know who these guys are. You know everybody. A casual fan's going to know Ryan Garcia, is going to know Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. If you're a hardcore fan, you know Romero, you know Jose Ramirez and Arnold Barboza. They're coming to win. They're not coming in here thinking like, oh, well, I'm just going to make a payday. I'm going to, get a little shine or whatever. No, they believe that they can win. So the hardcore fans know they're going to get good fights. But casual fans are going to take notice because of where it's taking place.
Right.
And also the ad campaign. Did you see the commercial?
Oh, no. That's not a commercial.
That's a movie trailer.
Bro.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a short film.
I got a 17-year-old daughter who has no interest in sports, let alone boxing. I showed her, and she said, you know what? I don't care for boxing, but this is fun.
But Virgil, I mean, if you can pick any place in the world to fight, or at least in the country, where would you want to fight?
Man, you know what? Alcatraz sounds really fun. And I'll tell you why, because I used to play Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. And one of the maps, my favorite map, is on Alcatraz.
Really?
So I would love to make that happen.
Who would you like to fight on in that venue?
Ooh, man. Okay, so I can't pick Arrow, because that has to be at the Cowboy Stadium, right?
Okay, true.
Maybe someone fun like Tim Zoo or Background.
Yeah, listen, your division is deep. I think your division, 154, the deepest, hardest division in all of boxing. Yeah. You can't go wrong. You could pick anybody from the top 10. It's a fight.
Yeah. I mean, what about Fundora, right? People talk about he's tough, he gets hit, but the size and how long he is he the last guy on the list? Because people say, I'll save him for last. Just too long.
You can get a wheel of people and I'll just spin it, and whoever it lands on, we can do it.
That's why everybody loves you. That is exactly why everybody loves you. Listen, I like what Rick Reno said earlier. He was talking about the critics, because I'm not going to lie. The critics kind of got to me, too. And I was saying, can they really do that? Can they really shut down? Because then you got to buy everything, because advertisement costs, they're paying for that advertisement. But if anybody can do it, it's the ring. And obviously, His Excellency, but that's crazy. Another thing, culture of boxing is going to have to change. You know why? Because if he came into the game and he's making the best fight the best, then good fighters, like really good fighters, are going to have, that losses now. So you're always gone. You have to still be respected by the fans, like they do in the UFC. So the boxing culture is going to have to change. We're going to be like, this guy got 4 losses, but he's still one of the best in the world.
Have to change? It's already changing, Barack, and it's not only, it's about also excuses, right? People that talk about money or that size of the street, that's faded away. It doesn't exist anymore.
Look at this card.
Right,
Look at the promotional entities involved.
So many different promoters. I mean, what fight stands out to you the most about Friday night?
I might have to say the main event. The main event.
Do you think that's the most dangerous fight for the A side?
Yeah.
What is it about?
Rolly hits hard. He hits hard. I mean, like that's just the deciding factor right there, because in boxing anything can happen. You know, if you get hit by one shot, anything can happen. Now I like both fighters. Right. You know, Rolly, they both been stopped. Right. You know, Ryan with the body shot, Rolly with a headshot. We've seen Ryan get dropped by Luke Campbell, who I don't think hits as hard as Rolly. No. So that's just something that we have to look out for. We have to look at all these possible situations happening, and so that's why I think that the main event is the most exciting fight to have, because anything can happen.
What about your Golden Boy stablemate? I mean, he's ready, and he's been calling for this Teofimo fight for a long time in Arnold Barboza. Yeah. Give me his shot, and what's his keys to victory?
His keys to victory is what he has, IQ, ring IQ, because he's a really smart fighter. He cannot get hit. If he doesn't want to get hit, he's not going to get hit.
But so is Teofimo when you think about IQ.
And that's right. So that's where it comes, because I think that Teofimo is as good as hitting people as Arnold is not to get hit. So that's just, it's going to have to be a battle of wits at that point.
Now, Jose Ramirez is coming off a loss because Arnold beat him, but it's a new weight class, so that's the unknown right there. You think they're overlooking him?
They're definitely overlooking Jose. You know, Jose is a live dog in there. You know, Devin Haney is a great fighter. I love watching him fight. I'm excited to see him fight for the first time in person. Wow. Yeah, that being said, Jose is also a great fighter. I might be a little biased because he is my favorite fighter.
Really?
Yes, he is. Ever since the 2012 Olympics, I've kept up with him.
Wow.
So
he's a stablemate as well.
Yeah. He is, but I'm trying to sound not so biased. He's a relentless fighter. He's a tremendous hard worker. He's a family man.
Underrated technique.
Underrated technique too, and
not a sloppy pressure.
And he can hit.
Yeah. I'm trying to sound not so biased. He's my favorite fighter.
What about what Devin?
Not just being honest.
What about what Devin Haney is facing? Right, he felt he was done wrong in the Ryan Garcia fight the first time out. He felt like it wasn't a fair fight, but we can't unseen what we saw in the ring. Ryan beating him to the punch, hurting him at times. Psychologically, do you think the year off is good for him, serving him well? Because people are saying ring rust. Doug, what do you think?
I think the time off was good for him, because I think he was down for the rest of 2024. I think it got to him. I saw him at some fights, and he looked heavy. I saw him in September in London, and I'm like, man, about 180, you know? And I was like, that's not a good sign. But then I saw him in January for the Ring Magazine Awards, and he had lost a lot of weight. He'd been training. He'd been bouncing around from quality gym to quality gym. So I think he needed that time to kind of get his head together. And then once he's back in the gym, the body at his age and the kind of talent that he has, it doesn't take long for him to get into shape. But the body and the mind have to be aligned. And I feel it is. When you talk to him, he's very focused.
And I think people are kind of underrating his power at 140. We also, he did to Prograis, was able to drop Prograis. In the Ryan Garcia fight, he didn't really hurt him, but he hurt him early in the fight, kind of hurt him. So maybe this is a better weight for Devin Haney.
No doubt about it.
Maybe so, but if you think about it, he's the only guy that took a loss and really all he's talking about is the time that he had to correct his mistakes.
Yes.
Guys don't really they usually give excuses. Not one excuse.
Yeah, Haney's a
even
cerebral guy.
even though Ryan failed the drug test, he's not even talking about that. He's like, yo, I gotta correct my mistakes. So it's like what you're saying. Yeah, we can't unsee what we saw. We saw he lost the fight, but he just had a year's camp basically.
And Virgil, like, you were on a rampage of knocking everybody everybody out. The first time you faced a little adversity in a fight, so much criticism. People forgot everything you did. How do you deal with criticism? Because I'm thinking about what Ryan is going through, what Devin is going through. How do you deal with that?
I shut it all out.
How though?
I deleted Instagram. I deleted Twitter.
Get on social media.
I started running. I started with my music. I started playing my guitar. I just say, you know what? Y'all not in the ring.
Did it motivate you a little bit to prove people wrong?
Oh yeah. I still have a chip on my shoulder. I still do to this day. I mean, but that's what keeps me hungry. You know what I mean?
You still play with that broken finger?
Yeah, because it's my wrist doing the movement. Now, if it was my fretting hand, then that'd be different.
Got you.
Yeah.
Who's the one person that I would say during that time where you faced criticism, who was the one person that maybe you respected, whether it was a boxing pundit, another fighter, that you were disappointed in hearing something negative about
Doug
yourself?
Fisher.
No. I'm always supportive, man.
No.
That's a hard question. That I was disappointed when they were
like you heard him saying something negative about you, somebody you respected in the boxing business. He said a lot. The way he looked.
Well then I'm gonna start with you and Barack.
I do have a name, but I don't want to say it. We're cool now.
We're cool now?
Yeah, we're cool.
You don't want to say his name.
Is it a member of the media or is it a fellow fighter?
You
a fighter,
say that.
active or retired?
It's neither.
Neither. Okay.
It's neither.
Oh, wow.
It's neither. I'll tell you after.
Is he in this room somewhere?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. We'll leave him alone for now. All right, look, let's shift gears to Teofimo Lopez. He's also faced a lot of criticism. People keep saying, depending on what Teofimo shows up, Doug, here, because we know at the elite level, the Lomas, the Josh Taylors, he shines, right?
Yeah.
This is a big stage in Times Square. Do you feel that depending on the Teofimo that shows up, that's going to determine what we see on Friday?
I mean, to me, it depends on where he is emotionally. If things aren't right in his life, it shows in the ring. It was chaos surrounding his private life going into the George Kambosos fight. But here's the thing. Even on his worst night, he's still a pretty good fighter. That was a terrific fight. Yeah, I'm sure you were ringside for that.
Yes.
I mean, that was like a throwback fight, like from the 50s, blood and guts. But when he's feeling good, when he has it together, when he has purpose and focus, then he's elite. He's pound for pound level, and he does what he does against a Vasily Lomachenko or a Josh Taylor.
Listen, we're going to thank Virgil Ortiz for joining us. Virgil, can't wait to see you back in the ring. Hopefully that knuckle heals up. Like Doug said, there's so many fights at 154 pounds. Hopefully they'll start making them this year. Thank you. We're going to shoot down to Mr. Michael Buffer.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the final press conference for Fatal Fury at Times Square here in Manhattan, New York City, New York, USA. It'll be a great night of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment, and it's all proudly presented to you by the Bible of Boxing, Ring Magazine, and SNK Corporation, publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. And is brought to you with promoters Oscar De La Hoya for Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Box Raw, and along with Warriors Boxing and Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, seated here, I'd like to welcome our panel. The Chief Operating Officer from the Bible of Boxing Ring Magazine, Mr. Rick Reno. 6th Division 7-time world champion, the founder and chairman of Golden Boy Promotions, the Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya. That's right. And the chairman of Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn. The director of athlete relations for Top Rank Boxing, Garcia Lopez. With Team Romero, Sean Michael Ham, and representing Devin Haney Promotions, Mr. Bill Haney. And he's got his family in the building, too. So, ladies and gentlemen, this event will be available worldwide on pay-per-view, and you can get it now, and that's pay-per-view on DAZN.com, DAZN.com, worldwide. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's meet the fighters. This is a special night, of course, because it's in Times Square in Manhattan, but it's 3 main events. It's a triple hitter. It's going to be a great night of boxing. So for the first contest, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO and recognition by Ring Magazine for the Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. First, let's meet the challenger. Ranked number 1 in the world by the WBO, his professional record is 32 fights, 32 victories, 11 wins by knockout, and he is from El Monte, California, the undefeated challenger, Arnold Barboza Jr. And his opponent, originally from Brooklyn, New York, now living, training, and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. His professional record, an excellent one, 21 victories, 13 of those 21 victories by knockout, only 1 defeat. He's the former undisputed and undefeated lightweight world champion, and he is the reigning and defending WBO and Ring Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Teofimo the Takeover Lopez. All right. Three main events, that's one of them. The next one, 12 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing first, from Avenal, California, USA, an outstanding record, 29 victories, 18 of those 29 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. Please welcome Jose Carlos Ramirez. And his opponent comes to us from Las Vegas, Nevada, with a record of 31 fights, 31 victories, 15 wins by knockout. He's the former undisputed, undefeated lightweight world champion and former WBC junior welterweight champion of the world. And of course, he is Devin, the Dream Haney. I want to add Devin is ranked number 1 in the world in the 140-pound division by the Ring. Devin the Dream Haney. This is going to be a fun press conference. And our third featured bout, 3 main events, a triple hitter, Fatal Fury in Times Square. 12 rounds of boxing, the welterweight division. Introducing first from Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, 16 victories, 13 of those 16 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. He's the former junior welterweight world champion, Rolando Romero. And his opponent from Victorville, California, ranked among the best in the world, pound for pound, and definitely one of the tops at 140 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, 24 victories, 20 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat. He is Ryan King Rai Garcia. Oh, no, you look good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can guarantee one thing. This is going to be a fun press conference. 48 hours to go. Fighters on the stage, our teams are here. Let me turn it over to Mr. Wade Clemens, our host.
New York, how we doing? Doesn't get better than that, an introduction from Michael Buffer himself. But folks, a night to remember will be this Friday. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, presented by Ring Magazine, live from Times Square and only on DAZN. 3 fights, 3 main events. History will be made. And on stage with me, we have so many personalities, so many fighters, so many representatives and executives. And I want to start with the Ring Magazine's own COO, Rick Reno. Rick, talk to me and the people about the importance of this card for the city of New York and for the Ring Magazine.
Well, there's only one word that could define this event, and that's history. This event is history. Never done before, and quite honestly, I don't know if it will ever be done again. Yeah. This event it's a significant undertaking to put this event together, significant cost to put this event together, and the team at the Ring, all of our partners that are up on stage, it was a massive undertaking. And we could have did it 2 different ways. We could have just sold the event with the setting, put on a few mid-level fights, or we could have taken these 3 main events and put it into any venue in New York and it would have sold out the house. We wanted to make a special night, something that's unforgettable, so we said let's put these 3 great fights in this historic setting and make history. And that's what it's all about at Ring Magazine, is making history. And make no mistake, there's a favorite and there's an underdog. All of the underdogs in this event are live dogs in the main event. Nothing is a foregone conclusion. Ryan could have taken an easier fight. Devin could have taken an easier fight. Teo could have taken an easier fight. They wanted tough fights. We wanted tough fights. Their promoters wanted tough fights, and we put it all together. If you, like I said, if you can't make it there live, I'm telling you, this is a can't-miss event. There are so many surprises that we have not revealed yet. You have to see it to believe it. If I even told you, you may not believe it. Go to DAZN.com, buy the pay-per-view, and now I turn it back to Wade.
Thanks, Rick. Next, we will talk to the Director of Athlete Relations over at Top Rank, Mr. Garcia Lopez. Talk to me about this moment for you, for all the fighters on stage. How excited are you?
On behalf of Top Rank, I want to thank everyone and His Excellency for this historic event, putting this historic event together. And on fight night, you know, Teofimo, this is a new version of Teofimo that no one has ever seen. This is not the Teo that beat Loma. This is not the Teo that beat Taylor. It's a new version that no one has ever seen. And once that mask comes off, he's not going to be a saint anymore. So, thank you.
Next, we'll go to a crowd favorite here, I think, Mr. Bill Haney. Bill. Representing Haney Promotions, talk to me about what this means. The year layoff, your son is back, you're back in the city of New York.
Well, thank you to God for the opportunity. Thank you to Turkey Al-Sheikh, Matchroom, of course, Golden Boy, Warriors Boxing, and everyone involved. This will be an historic event. You know, it's iconic to be at Times Square. It's a great opportunity for Devin to come back after a year layoff and show the world what he's really made of. You know what I mean? We've had the opportunity to go to Big Bear. Yes, you guys will witness greatness, and you're here for it. And Devin will show them on Friday, 48 hours away. Listen.
48 hours away, he said, and this moment means everything to all these fighters, and one man in particular that could probably lay it out a lot better than I can. He is the chairman of Matchroom Sport. He is a partner of DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Hearn.
Thank you, Wade. Well, firstly, I want to thank Bill Haney, because normally I get booed a lot louder. So thank you, Bill. Look, a quick one from me. I think Rick Reno said it perfectly, a lot more perfectly than he said it last week. But this is a completely unique event, and the logistics that have gone behind this are quite incredible. We're honoured to be asked to be involved in the promotion, the logistics of this event. I want to thank all of our team at Matchroom, Golden Boy, obviously Ring Magazine, Frank Smith, Ali particularly, who's definitely the hardest working man I've ever met in my life. Since His Excellency came into the sport just under 2 years ago, I've used the word historic a lot. In the last 7 days, I think you've seen one of the most historic periods in world boxing. Last Saturday, in front of 65,000 people, we saw one of the greatest fights in British boxing history between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. And 6 days on, Times Square will be closed down, one of the most iconic landmarks in the world for boxing, the greatest sport on the planet. 24 hours later, Canelo Alvarez will challenge for his second undisputed championship in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And proudly, it's all live on the home of boxing, DAZN. That little app, that little streaming service that we told everybody about many years ago, the one that now houses and homes every great fight in the sport of boxing. So on Friday night and Saturday night, make sure you tune into DAZN. For me, I don't have any of the fighters up here. I'm just a fan like you. And when I talk about the fights, I can't wait, because I can speak independently for once. And when I say I love Teofimo against Arnold Barboza, this is a classic matchup. Arnold Barboza coming off wins against Ramirez, and just recently, unfortunately, in front of 9,000 people in Manchester. But this guy down here in Teofimo Lopez, I've got to say I'm a fan. I think he's great for boxing. But this is a tough fight for him. And the man on my left, yeah, there's a few boos, but I'll tell you something now. Devin Haney is one of the hardest working young men in the sport. And on Friday, he has a tough night's work against Jose Ramirez. This is no easy fight. I credit Devin and Bill. And again, I haven't got to say it, but I believe this man will silence the critics on Friday night. And then you go to the main event. I've become fond of this guy, Romero. He may be as wild as Teo. I'm not sure yet. It's close. But he can fight. And, you know, I know there's been a lot said in the past. I also want to say a huge congratulations to Ryan Garcia, because I think he's a massive asset to the sport of boxing, and it's great to see him looking healthy and ready to perform on Saturday night. Is important for the sport. So may every fighter come out safe on Friday night. God bless them all. And I would like to say one thing. Boxing from top to bottom, from the grassroots, as you start off on the battle of badges between the NYPD and the fire department, for the kids at Cops and Kids in Brooklyn and the great work they do in the community. Boxing is the greatest sport of all. And this weekend you will see a special event on DAZN, Friday and of course Saturday in Riyadh. Thank you all, and best of luck to all the fighters up here.
Folks, it doesn't get much better than that in the form of a Pro Bowl. Eddie Hearn, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Next up, we have a representative from Team Rowley, Mr. Sean Michael Ham. Sean, again, just like everybody on stage, you have a fighter that's about to make history. Talk to us about this moment.
Yeah, we just want to thank God for this opportunity. Also thank our team at PBC for putting this fight together. And, you know, we're not really here to do too much talking. We're here for business. We're going to do all of our talking in the ring. So we'll see you guys Friday night. We're here to shock the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. And last but certainly not least, the Hall of Famer, the multi-division, multi-time world champion, chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, I thought I've seen it all in the 45 years in the sport of boxing, but I've never seen I've never seen a ring in the middle of Times Square. I mean, this is history in the making, and we'll probably never ever see it again. I mean, on Friday, we will be making history, and we're proud to have our Golden Boy fighters headlining all three main events. And obviously, it speaks volumes to what we've done over the last 23 years and position every fighter of ours to be in this situation. I want to thank Salah. I want to thank Turkey, DAZN. Thank you for giving us the platform to watch these great fights. Y también quiero decirles a la gente, por todo el mundo, a toda la raza que está viendo, gracias por la oportunidad. No solamente van a ver la pelea con Ryan Garcia y Rollis, no van a ver la pelea con Teofimo y José Ramirez, pero también van a poder ver al Canelo Álvarez pelear el siguiente día en DAZN, así que no se la pierdan. Live on DAZN, it's going to be historic, it's going to be incredible. Gracias por todo el apoyo. Gracias, raza.
Thank you, Oscar. And folks, let's get started with our fighters, and I'm just going to kick a hornet's nest to get this thing going. Teofimo Lopez, talk to us about that mask. What are we doing here?
Let me hear you say, oh yeah. Let me hear you say, oh yeah. Hey, all my New Yorkers, let me get a yeah. Let me hear it one more time, yeah. Times Square takeover. Now let me get a T-O, 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 T-O. T-O. T-O, T-O. That's what I'm talking about. Times Square, 48 hours. Are you ready? El Santo, el enmascarado de plata. Que viva México, cabrones. Viva México. Honduras. Puerto Rico, huepa. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Tio. Appreciate that.
Oh, no, I appreciate it.
Oh, you got to keep it going?
You.
Okay, go
Everybody
ahead.
here today, tonight, are you ready? Let me hear you say, yeah. That don't sound like you ready. Let me hear it again. Yeah. Let's make some motherfucking noise.
So, no answer.
T-O, T-O, T-O.
No answer on the mask there, but I saw a lot of people cheering, a lot of hooting and hollering, but one man I didn't see change his face once was Arnold Barboza Jr., ladies and gentlemen. Arnold, how are you feeling in this moment? What do you make of Tio right now wearing that mask?
Oh, man, that's cool, man. That's cool. You know, I'm juiced up, man. This is amazing. It ain't anything new to me, man. I just came from Manchester. It was the same thing, man, so I'm excited. I'm ruining all the plans, baby. Let's go.
Arnold, you're coming into play spoiler. You've done this many times. Have you gotten comfortable in this role with people chanting the other fighter's name in their hometowns and coming in and spoiling the party?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I just came from doing it. You know, it turns me on, honestly. You know what I mean? So, you know, look, we're here to show up, show out. I'm excited. I'm blessed. You know, God blessed. You know, thank you to God, man, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, my family's here. You know, my people are here from LA, baby, from El Monte. So that's all I need, baby. That's it. Let's go.
A coast-to-coast fight. You see the mask on. You've called him a clown. You've called Tio Sr. a clown. Is that what they're representing to you today with that mask?
Oh, man, look, at the end of the day, they're entertaining, man. So you got to sell the fight, right? So, man, shout out to them, man. They, you know, I ain't got to promote the fight. You got to come and fight and do what I got to do.
Really? Appreciate you, Arnold. So, Tio,
make sure your father throws down that towel, brother, because it's going to be a beating.
Tio, again, no answer on the mask, but you've called yourself a clown. You said, yeah, we're a family of clowns in boxing, but we do it to put pressure on ourselves. What does this moment on Friday night mean to you, and how do you take that pressure and excel?
Oh, no, I did mention the mask. I just said it in Spanish because you're a gringo. But it's okay, brother. It's all right. We love our Americanos, man. We love the Americano gente, all right? Yeah, so it's basically, look, man, this is it's the Saint, the Silver Mask, Lucha Libre, and I'm just grateful and thankful to be here amongst all of you, ready to show you guys the third version of Teofimo that you have yet seen. Let's go.
Thank you, Tio. How do you get this fight done? There's been a lot of talk about how Arnold Barboza Jr. shuts fighters down and makes them fight out of character for what they normally do. How do you get this one done?
I say it like this, man. Get your pay-per-view live on DAZN, May 2nd, Friday night. You don't want to miss it. I'm the type of fighter that does anything and everything. And I just can't wait to express that Friday night. So you guys just got to tune in. And I believe, is it open to the public? I think we need to answer that for everybody.
As far as I know, we have selective seating, but it's in the middle of Times Square. You can't miss it. What an event we'll have Friday night.
So like first come, first serve?
Like I said, I think that's...
Yo, New York, just pull up. Just pull up, man.
Just pull
Don't
up.
listen to them.
New York, come out, baby.
Just pull up.
That'll be our first
fight. Hey, pull up and make sure not to pull out. Let's go. We fucking...
Not a message we condone here at DAZN and the Ring Magazine. That's our first fight of the night, one of our 3 main events. But folks, let's move on to our next fight. Jose Ramirez versus Devin the Dream Haney. Jose, I'll start with you. There's been a lot of talk throughout this buildup about a potential Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia rematch, but I think people have forgotten you're a former unified champion. You are a former Olympian, and if they have forgot, tell the people why you're going to remind them on Friday night.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank God, my promotional company, Golden Boy, my manager, Rick Murrigan, Turkey Al-Sheikh, for the opportunity to allow me to showcase my talent in front of this amazing crowd in New York. Last time I was in New York, I became a world champion. So, I got a good feeling about New York. Y les voy a decir en español, para que lo entiendan bien. Este 2 de mayo, vamos a noquear. José Ramírez noquea a Devin Haney este 2 de mayo. I know he's a very talented fighter. I know he's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. But on Friday, May 2nd, I will beat Devin Haney. And we're going after the best version of Jose Ramirez and the best chapter yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Devin the Dream Haney. It's been a long time, Devin. But you're back in New York. A brand new version of yourself. You locked yourself away in Big Bear. You took time away from all of the things that you've found to be comfortable. You've made yourself uncomfortable, and in your own words, undeniable. What does Friday mean to Devin Haney?
Y'all can boo or y'all can cheer. It don't matter. It's all noise. It's all noise. When I dust Jose Ramirez off on Friday, I'm gonna get to y'all boy Ryan after. That's it.
Jose said he's going to dust you. Again, there's been talk about looking over fighters, and Devin has said he's not looking past you, but that verbiage makes it seem otherwise. A dusting is what he said is coming for you.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out the first round comes May 2nd. That's all I can say, I'm not the best at talking, but I'm here because I'm a great fighter.
And Devin, there's been a lot of questions about what you'll look like in your return. Even yesterday at the open workout, it looked like you were sitting down on some punches and giving it to this crowd, embracing this villain role. Are you more comfortable now playing that role, even if it's maybe not necessarily even your fault? You're not really a villain in this whole thing.
Man, like I said, the talk is over. I get to Jose Ramirez on Friday, and after y'all know who next.
Well, there it is, folks. Your second of our main events on this card, and now we move to our last fight on the card, our main event of the evening. Ryan Garcia versus Romero for the WBA regular welterweight championship of the world. And I'll start with you, Rolly. Everybody, seems like here in New York, is here to cheer Ryan Garcia. You're a man that's been calling for this fight. You said you envisioned this fight at the weight it's going to be fought at. Tell the people why you're about to spoil the entire party.
I could predict, wait, spoil the party? What you mean? I'm gonna knock Ryan out and he could go have fun with Devin right afterwards. I think Devin deserves his rematch.
You keep talking about that, how they're gonna have the rematch anyway. If you knock Ryan out, would you not potentially want to fight the winner of Jose Ramirez, Devin Haney?
I mean, we could have fun with that later, but I think Devin deserves his rematch with Ryan. He's been asking for it for a very long time.
Fair.
Good job, Rolly. Good job, Rolly.
Ryan, Rolly's made it clear he's coming to knock you out. First round, he's coming out to take care of business. There's a lot of history between you two, but your message has been pretty simple. You're not just here to knock out Rolly Romero, you're here to retire him.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Rolly's has never been seen as a real elite fighter, so I'm just here to do my job, knock him out, and ride off in the sunset. That's it.
It feels like a lot has been made about a spar you guys had a long time ago.
I'm not going to talk about something that happened 8 years ago. That's crazy. I'm here to do a job, and that's it. But first, I want to thank God. Shout out my mom. She beat breast cancer, and she's right there in there. Right there, I see her. I love you so much. And I'm just excited to be back here in New York after, you know, such a historic event last time. It felt so sweet. So we're going to have to do it again. Sooner or later, right?
Ryan, there is a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I think you know that.
Yes.
About what you'll look like in the ring, about where your mindset is this time around. A little bit more quiet, serious, some would say focused and mature. Have you learned anything from the last time you were in New York?
Man, I'm just here, man. I'm just here living life. Everybody goes through their ups and downs. Everybody goes through their things, but it's how you come back, it's how you bounce back. And I'm just here to show people that you could bounce back from anything.
It feels like you're almost annoyed at the fact that this sparring keeps brought up and the fact that Rolly thinks he's even on your level.
I mean, it's the only thing he got, right? He got that sparring match, and that's what he's going to use till the day he dies. So I guess I got to put that to the end come Friday night.
And I do have to ask, and I know it keeps getting brought up, this rivalry between you and Devin Haney. It kind of got lit again yesterday with you and Bill Haney and the open workouts. What was said between you and him at the open workouts?
You know, he was coming at my physique, but it's all good. You know, they were saying the same thing last time, and they got their ass whooped last time, too.
That motherfucker
get your ass whooped again. And you better
that
be careful,
motherfucker don't even
Jose
sound the
coming
same.
hard. I know Jose got that left hook, too. Jose got that left hook, too.
He don't even sound the same.
We never hear him talk, because you don't do shit.
Your physique
You can't talk. You
got
can't talk.
titties now.
You
He
can't
got no
talk.
muscles. His muscles gone. His voice is gone.
Hey, look at that. Hey,
talk that shit. This motherfucker's gone.
And you can't train that. You can't train that jaw. You don't get fucked up.
Oh my God.
All I say is,
Bill, what was said yesterday?
What the hell?
Devin needed his daddy here.
Happened to Ryan Garcia? This is not the same Ryan Garcia.
No.
At all.
Fuck no.
I got multiple personalities, bitch.
Listen, everyone.
I got multiple personalities, bitch.
This is going to be
and you don't want to see the crazy one. You want to see the crazy personality, bitch.
Wait, listen. I'm not a
you and your son is some bitches. You the biggest bitch out of all of them. You a big bitch. That's why you was a pig, right? You a bitch. You a little bitch. You a bitch.
It's coming back. It's coming back. Get him.
I love it. Bill brings it out of me, though.
Be a fraction of Ryan Garcia that we saw.
Hey, I don't give a fuck what you say, Bill.
A whole bit of it. Hey, listen, not too much ostarine left in him. Listen, I'll tell you what.
Hey, you better keep saying that. You trying to build your son up. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to build your son up. You're trying to bring back confidence in him.
All up there.
Hey, we all know about Victor Conte. Victor Conte is the biggest cheerleader in the sport. And y'all been using snack and all that shit, so shut the fuck up.
There's only one king here.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey,
I know you brought your little cheerleading squad to help you, but you still a bit.
And May the 2nd. No, I'm gonna tell you.
I like this.
And I hope that
shut the fuck up
for that fight. I'll tell you one thing.
Shut the fuck up.
He's in for a tough fight with Rolly Romero. May 2nd is going to be a tougher fight than we think, because he's a fraction of the person he was on April the 20th.
Shut the front door. Shut the front door.
The people of New York may not agree, Bill, but I do think it will be a tough fight in our main event, and I want to bring in Ryan, your head coach, the legendary Derek James. Derek, how are you today?
I'm doing good.
What has changed in camp this time around for Ryan Garcia?
Well, he's very focused. He's been very disciplined, and he's been really just into.
Man, you ain't said nothing since he got tested positive. Where were you at? Are you going to be the one that's going to be doing the weight cut? Because I'm confused.
Damn you, ESPN.
I'm confused. Are you doing the weight cut this time, sir? I know you're a legendary trainer, love you to death, but is Derek James doing the weight cut this time so it's no confusion?
I believe he asked if you'd be handling the weight cut this time around for Ryan Garcia.
For the Romero team.
I believe he asked if you'd be handling the weight cut for Ryan Garcia this time around.
He's good. He's good.
Huh?
We'll move on. Derek, what's it been like working with Ryan, not only in this camp, but for the year after everything went down in New York? You stuck by each other's side, and it feels like you guys have gotten a relationship that's become better and better. What's that mean for this fight on Friday versus Rolly Romero?
Well, he's just shown he's been very disciplined, and he really wants what he wants. And that's the only reason why.
He was off PEDs his last fight. Answer the question. You guys pled guilty to PEDs. You finally are up here. Hall of Fame trainer and Derek James. Answer the question. Is he going to be clean this fight? Let's ask some real questions. Ask him, is he going to be clean this fight? Is Derek James going to make sure that he's clean?
Damn you, ESPN. Damn you, ESPN.
Derek seems like he's done talking. Ryan, you're hearing this all across the stage here. What do you make of Bill? He's going to needle you. You knew this. You knew this.
Shit he been saying last time, like I said, you already got your ass kicked. I don't really got much to say. Your son got fucked up already. What's there to say? You already got fucked up. Like, that's it.
No, you told him that.
You already got fucked up.
You did test positive. Did you not test positive?
What?
Did you not test positive?
Fuck what you got to say at
Did you plead guilty to testing positive?
Did not take no Osprey, and I fucked you up.
Listen,
That's it.
ask him why didn't Derek James do the weight cut
Didn't take
last?
Osprey, and I fucked you up. That's
Ask
it.
him that. Ask him
Didn't take
that.
Osprey, and I fucked you
why
up.
Why didn't Derek James do his weight cut last fight?
Bill wants to know why Derek James didn't do the weight cut last time.
Quiet as a church mouse. What?
I don't know what he's asking. Derek was there the whole time.
Quiet.
We'll move forward. I see Teofimo. I see you're chomping at the bit to get that mic. You had something to say?
Yeah, it was Floyd Mayweather with the 3 pounds, man. Floyd fucked y'all, man. That's all I'm saying to the Haneys. You know, Floyd said to Ryan, 3 pounds, man, 3 pounds.
Well, listen, Teo, you could potentially fight any of these guys on stage. When you look around here, who would you like a piece of, let's say, if you get this win over Arnold Barboza Jr.?
Over here, I know that. I know that. It'll be a fair fight over here on this side.
Well, we stay clean, but nevertheless, my main focus is Arnold Barboza Jr. May 2nd. None of this matters till we do what we got to do.
Eddie, I did want to ask you, what do you make of the mask here?
Come again?
Talking to Mr. Eddie Hearn, what do you make of the mask?
I love it. I love it.
Lucha Libre, cabrones!
I love the mask.
Let's go! I'll flip this table!
Vamos, tío, vamos!
Hey!
It's a whole lot of Spanish, and we don't understand it. I smell some lying going on around here. Yeah. I got to talk to my interpreter. Are they lying around this motherfucker? Because that's what I think is going on. There's some lying. Starting with Oscar De La Hoya first saying that it's 3 headliners, and they're all with Golden Boy.
What? I know, it's something chisty, ain't it?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It's a little crooked over here.
You said 3 headliners, and they're all with Golden Boy.
Bill is... we don't need you to get undressed.
Yeah! Yeah! Let's get him going! Oscar, we gonna get you going!
Oh my
my God, he's bluffing. He's bluffing. Let me see the uppercut.
Only in New York, ladies and gentlemen. Only in New York.
Let's go, Oscar. Golden boy. Golden boy. Let's go, Oscar.
It's turned into full chaos up here, folks.
Oscar.
I don't know.
Oscar.
De La Hoya.
Oscar, do you care to respond to Bill Haney? Do you care to respond to any of the accusations? He's saying that it's not three. He was just saying, you're saying it's 3 main events. It's not 3 main events. What are you talking about? Why are you saying that? That's from Bill Haney.
3 main events.
Let's go, Oscar.
Everybody's a great fighter here.
Everybody's a main event on this thing.
It's three fights. Man, sit down. Learn how to promote.
Yeah, well, hey, listen. Everyone is a main event on there. It's 6 tremendously talented fighters.
We can have 4 if you want.
Listen,
me and you.
Guess what? And guess what? And let me tell you this. Every fighter up here deserves to be praised, deserves to take the spot that they took. He could have been the main event. He could have made main event, and he could have. And that's how this shit go. And that's promoting the fight.
Appreciate it, Bill. Let's go down the list really quickly. I want to speak to you again, Arnold Barboza Jr. Can you give me a final prediction for your fight with Teofimo Lopez? Last message.
Oh, no, man. May 2nd. Show up, man. Barboza, you know, Jr. comes out with the victory by any means necessary, but it's time to get active.
Teofimo Lopez, your final prediction. How does it go down on Friday night?
Times Square takeover! We fucking taking over! I'm not leaving! I'm not leaving after Friday night. I'm not leaving. I'm staying in the game. And I'm gonna win it. To all of you, justice, mystery. That's what this mask represents. I'm ready. I'm ready. To the new NYPD. Hey, to the fire department in New York. Love you guys. Everything that you all do, all that you serve. From 9/11 to the things that have happened in New York alone, this is just an honor of all those that have extended, I would say. And I'm here to just here to give you guys that light. Friday, May 2nd. Let's go.
Thank you, Teo. Jose, like I said, a lot of people doubting. They must have forgot. How do you remind them on Friday?
I'm gonna win. Where I come from, it prepares me for things like this. My lifestyle, my family, my faith, they prepared me for times like this. And May 2nd, I will be victorious.
Thank you, Jose. Devin, the questions will be answered on Friday night. If you got the answer, tell the people why the dream is back.
I put all my trust, all my faith in Allah. Inshallah, victory.
And Rolly, you're kicked back, you're relaxing. Let's be honest. You got a massive opportunity to make a dream come true, to make a vision a reality on Friday night. How does Rolly Romero get it done in the middle of New York?
Tune in, you guys will see.
Short and sweet, simple. Ryan, I'll let you have the final word. The main event back in New York, the last scene of the crime, they may say. How do you get it done the right way this time around in Times Square?
We don't leave it up to the judges. Rollies gets put to sleep.
There it is, folks. I appreciate everybody for coming out for the press conference. We're going to stand these fighters up, get them faced off. Thank you to Turkey Al-Sheikh, Ring Magazine, and all you great fans. We'll see you Friday night in Times Square.
All right, Doug, I didn't hear what was the commotion about when it came to Oscar and Bill Haney. I mean, something got him upset. I've never seen Oscar.
Bill's got that gift. Bill Trigger's fault.
Bill was saying he was lying because Oscar said that Golden Boy had 3 headliners. So, you know, that means that Devin's not a headliner. That's why. So Bill got upset and said, Oscar's talking Spanish. There's a lot of lying going on. And the Oscar's like taking out the abs. It's like, You can get it.
Oscar was upset, and he even said, "Listen, there can be more than 3 fights. It can be 4. You and I."
Oscar, maybe he was upset. He was having fun now. He misses these days.
I think so.
He misses these type of press
I
conferences.
think he embellished a little to promote this showdown.
He's getting into the act. He's having flashbacks to when he fought Ricardo Mayorga.
I think he's caught up in everything that's going on. The crowd, we usually don't see the crowd like this. Teo had the crowd jumping early.
Absolutely.
And everybody had something to say that the crowd loved. Or hated.
Of all 3 press conferences, this had the best energy, the most entertaining.
Absolutely.
It was, people are ready for the show to start.
All the fighters had something to say. And listen, I kind of agree with Oscar. I think what he meant was all 3 fights could be main event, like you said at the kickoff.
Right, he's proud as a promoter that he has 3 fighters in 3 main event worthy fights.
He's not going to say that Ramirez is a headliner over Devin Haney.
That's what he said. He said
not the
Golden
A
Boy
side.
fighters, 3 headliners.
No, that's not what he meant. I'm sorry.
Exactly
I'm sorry.
what he meant. He's a promoter.
He meant
That's what he should say.
hey Doug, either fight can be a main event.
Absolutely.
Each one of them.
Absolutely.
But you're changing his words, though.
Well, I'm trying to make peace here,
It's
right?
open to interpretation.
Exactly.
I just know Oscar's proud that he has maneuvered his fighters into this type of matchup because if his fighters win, it's bigger and better things.
As he should be. I mean, this is right now the biggest stage. Obviously, we got Canelo, the next day. But as of right now, the spectacle, how many top fighters on the same card, this is the biggest stage. Well done by Oscar.
Absolutely, and it's very important because these are U.S. fighters. These are young American fighters. We talk about Canelo, face of boxing. He's 35, almost 35. He's winding down his career. He's a Mexican national. He's making his Riyadh debut. But it's important for American fighters to shine in the U.S. because the U.S. boxing scene needs that lift.
And I say well done, Oscar the Whole. Thanks to obviously Ring and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh of making this possible.
Right. Sometimes Teo also gets boos, especially with his father, because a lot of people don't like his father.
Right.
But I think today he was very, very surprised that he got all those cheers. And Ryan always gets cheers. He's the guy that everybody's here to see.
Doug, what do you make of Ryan's suit? He never comes to a presser in a suit with a tie.
I like it. I think he's going for the Wall Street look. But maybe it's just it's symbolic of his maturity.
That's what I think it is.
I'm serious, professional. I'm not going to do the WWE thing. Not unless I get triggered by Bill.
Exactly, like you did today.
But otherwise, he's focused on rolling, and he needs to be because rolling's very dangerous.
You know what that suit says? I mean business. That's what that suit says.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's a businessman.
I like
all
it.
business.
And look, I like the whole maturity and the professionalism, but at a presser, you want to see some smack talking, right? So Ryan gave it to us in the last
He gave us a little. He gave us a little. They loved it. He got more into it, and I think that's what riled up Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya said, "Let me get a piece of this. I'm not going to have nobody talking about me like that. Let me get a piece of this."
Is that what it was?
I think so.
And Bill was being Bill, right? He's like that at every press conference.
I mean, he's bringing out of the crowd.
Yeah. What about?
I didn't know he was that polarizing, to be quite honest, but he just seems like the modern boxing dad. Fans either love him or hate him, and in recent decades, they really hate him.
And he don't care.
No, they don't. It works for their son. If they have a son who's understated.
Exactly.
And we saw this with
Danny Garcia.
Yes.
Right, yes.
Danny Garcia, a cool cat.
Yes.
Very low key.
Hardly ever said anything.
So Angel had to have the bravado.
Even
and the pro
slightly
wrestling sort
with
of
Sean
edge.
Porter and Kenny Porter. Kenny was a little bit more aggressive. Sean was more low key. So
Yeah, because Sean's good natured.
exactly. So
What about Robert Guerrero? Want to go back a little bit more?
Oh my God, yeah, that dude was a character. That dude was a real
His
deal
father.
too. Yeah,
Absolutely.
But talk about showman. I mean, Teofimo came as a wrestler, and I don't know what that represented, but it was good to see.
I know he was sweating under that mask. That's all I can say.
He don't care.
He don't care.
And when it was cold in March, he was shirtless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, he is a showman. He's a natural showman, and he's been in such good spirits for the past few months, really since the start of 2025. I think fans are picking up on that vibe because he used to be polarizing.
Right.
He used to get booed.
Right.
It was nothing but love tonight.
And if you heard the crowd, Teo. I mean, he is in his hometown.
Yes.
But to your point, he wasn't always loved by the fans like that.
No, even at the kickoff press conference, you had people saying, "This isn't your hometown."
Right.
And they kind of had him on the defensive, and he was, getting into it with people.
What do you think
And
the shift
now
came
he's-
from?
I don't know. I think it's his vibe. It's his energy. And I think he's really feeling it.
I think he was
and they
smart.
went with it. The crowd picked up
Oh,
on
yeah.
it.
I'm sorry. I think he was smart to come out with that mask. and he connected with the Latinos in the crowd.
Yes.
You know, and I think
the call
once
and
he
response
exactly.
in Spanish.
So he's used to getting the boos. When he started, they responded.
Yeah.
Say, hey, and they said, hey. Say Tio. They said Tio. That's why he went a little overboard.
He did.
He couldn't stop because he was like, yo, I've always wanted this. This is love. Like you said, they were telling him at that press conference that you hosted. Very good job, by the way. They said, you're not from New York. Meanwhile, he's from Brooklyn.
Right.
So he had a ball up there.
Yeah.
He
won him over.
Yeah,
He won him over. And, the showmanship, the lucha libre thing, the call and response, the Spanish. He fed the crowd, and then Teo feeds off of this energy because he loves attention.
I like to bring up, people always ask who got in whose head at a presser. I think most of these guys have been on big stages. They know they're going through the motions. Tomorrow's the win. I can't see anybody getting in anybody's head tonight.
Yeah, even if they're quiet and understated, like Ramirez and Barboza,
right.
These guys are veterans. They're in their early 30s. They've been around for a long time. They've literally grown up in boxing. No one's getting in their heads.
Right. Real quick, I just beg to differ. I think Bill gets in everybody's head. That's all.
Yes, Bill does.
What was that?
I said Bill gets in everybody's head.
Yeah, no, he does.
That's it. He's just calculated. He's intelligent. He's an OG.
All right, listen, don't forget, the DAZN is not only the global leader in boxing, it is also the official global broadcaster for the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, which will feature 32 of the world's top football clubs. Teams from Europe, Asia, the Americas, Africa, and Oceanias will compete for the coveted Club World Champion title.
Greatness comes to DAZN this summer. The world's best players will be summoned together to decide the greatest club on earth. Goats will battle Wonder Kids. Fire will meet ice. From Boca to Bayern, PSG to Palmeiras, 32 clubs from across the globe will compete to be crowned world champion. And this summer, Haaland won't be watching from home, but you can on DAZN. In every country in the world. FIFA Club World Cup. Watch on DAZN from the 14th of June.
All right, we're looking forward to that, but let's face it, boxing fans are in for a real treat this weekend with two huge back-to-back fights. Obviously, Friday's historic Times Square fight, but then Saturday, the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez will take action against IBF undefeated champion William Sco to try to become two-time super middleweight champion of the world in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Both events will be exclusively on DAZN pay-per-view. Speaking of Riyadh, we have some friends over there. Barack, guys.
Thanks, guys. We are indeed in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh as we're counting down towards Saturday night's main event, Canelo Alvarez versus William School for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Todd Grisham, Sergio Mora, and Chris Mannix. But let's focus now on the lead-up fights to the main event. And Jaime Munguia taking on Bruno Saras in a rematch from last year, Sergio. It was the knockout of the year. It was also the upset of the year. They do it again. What do you expect this time around?
I think Munguia is going to be a little bit shell-shocked from that knockout. I mean, he has 46 fights. He's never been knocked out. So this is a Mexican that always took the big punches. That Mexican bravado took him a long way. But now he got tested. He got knocked out. So I think he's going to be a little bit leery. And this fight, he's going to have his hands full again with Saras. Saras is an undefeated fighter, carries himself with the confidence of an undefeated fighter. And now that he has a knockout over a guy that's never been knocked out, confidence is through the roof.
I think there's some truth to Munguia being a little bit tentative early on. He's also been working with Eddie Reynoso for the first time in his career. So maybe he's going to try some new things. But leopards don't change their spots, and I think Jaime Munguia is going to be Jaime Munguia during this fight. I think it's going to be successful. I think last time he took Bruno Saras a little bit less seriously than he should have. You remember, when Jaime Munguia last fought in Tijuana, he fought Demetrius Balades, walk right through him. This is supposed to be a homecoming fight for Jaime Munguia, and he didn't expect Bruno Saras to put up this kind of fight. I think he'll respect Saras more, but I think he'll wind up getting a knockout.
Who do you think wins the fight, Sergio?
I think Munguia wins, but it's going to be a very difficult fight. I think it goes to decision. It's going to be competitive again, but Munguia might win.
What other fight has you frothing at the mouth over here, Chris, as we prepare for the main event of Canelo versus Skull? Which one do you want to talk about?
I am a full-fledged Bacoli head. I am all in whenever Martin Bacoli fights these days. And yes, I think the shine came off Martin Bacoli a little bit with that second-round knockout to Joseph Parker a couple of months ago. All respect to him for getting off the couch, flying like a connecting flight from the Congo to get to Saudi Arabia to fight Joseph Parker. But he did get knocked out, and that does take some of the shine off him. But he's had enough time to recover. It wasn't a very physical fight, and I do think he has an opponent now in front of him in Efe Ajagba that has every chance to make Martin Bacoli look great. And Efe Ajagba, for a while, was one of the scariest guys in the heavyweight division. You remember Curtis Harper in 2018 ran out of the ring when he saw Efe Ajagba standing there. Says it was about money, but I think it was about more than that. But since then, Efe Ajagba kind of slowed down a little bit. Frank Sanchez beat him in his last fight. Guido Vianello, split decision win, and Guido's not this great heavyweight. I think this is a fight where Efe Ajagba is going to be there to get hit, and I think Martin Bacoli is going to hit him pretty hard.
I got to agree with him, which I hate to do, but it's going to be explosive, 3-4 rounds max. And the reason is because Bacoli's coming off that bad performance where he wasn't in shape. So he needs to come back and look like the monster, the boogeyman that everyone expected to. Styles do make fights. I agree. Ajagba comes to fight to knock you out. He has a big right hand, but Bacoli is a better combination puncher. I think it's explosive. I favor Bacoli.
And one of the things that favors Bacoli here, Todd, is Billy Nelson, the trainer for Martin Bacoli, was up on the ring apron before Martin Bacoli's body hit the ground when he fought Joseph Parker. Because Billy Nelson knew, you know, they did their job coming there. They got to Saudi Arabia. They gave Joseph Parker a credible opponent, but he was not going to allow Bacoli to take any more punishment. And because of that, I think Bacoli is fresh.
All right, well, Bacoli is coming off the first knockout loss of his career. Let's see how he bounces back Saturday night on the Williams School Canelo Alvarez undercard. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. So, look, the fights keep coming. Just announced on DAZN, June 14th, Richardson and Hitchens is defending his IBF super lightweight title right here in NYC against former unified lightweight champion George Kambosos, who's making his debut at 140 pounds. Then July 19th, a doubleheader live from Wembley Stadium, Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, the rematch for the undisputed heavyweight title. That same day, one of boxing's most exciting fighters, Bam Rodriguez, is making his return. First time in 2025, taking on Humalele Kafu in a unification fight in Dallas, Texas. Man, first off, you know, we'll get into what's happening Friday, but Canelo Alvarez, still the face of boxing, Doug. He's trying to become undisputed again at 168. He lost IBF. Now Skull has it. He has to get it back.
It was just stripped from him.
Yeah,
so he's looking to be a two-time undisputed super middleweight champion.
Exactly. He lost it outside the ring. Is there a risk in that fight?
I don't think so. I think Canelo is he's dialed in. No disrespect to William Skull.
Right.
We know Cuban fighters can fight.
Right.
We know that that's a great school of boxing. No, it's
he
just,
didn't say that. He
Canelo
said
is a
he
future.
Said no threat. He said it can't be Skull. He just said all Cuban fighters.
Obviously, it's a little bit of a threat, but I'm just saying Canelo's not going to lose. There's too much on the line. He has to be focused on William Skull, but obviously he's thinking of September. He's thinking of like this super fight, a modern super fight with Terrence Crawford. And he wants to have all the belts on the line. And he's going to be, and I think he's going to be more dialed in for Skull, just to be more dialed in for Crawford. I think in recent years, he's heard the criticism. People, myself included, said he's slipping a little bit. We don't see the combinations. We don't see the knockouts. All these 12-round fights. And here he is. He's dropping John Ryder, tough guy. This is in a stadium in Guadalajara. It's a tough fight. Nobody expected John Ryder to go 12 rounds, and he did. People didn't expect even Jaime Munguia to go 12 rounds, or Edgar Berlanga, but they all did.
Is that when you expect so much from a guy, right, that's been so dominant, if he goes the distance, they almost seem like he didn't perform right, but he dominated the fights.
But can I just add that Canelo's smaller than you? He's
Yes,
shorter than you.
yes.
He doesn't have wide shoulders. He's fighting in a weight class where everybody's my height and they're big, bigger shoulders, and he's dropping all of them. He's not going to knock out these guys.
Yeah.
He's just not going to knock out all of them.
That's it. We remember his form from 154 pounds and 160 pounds.
Yeah. Barack, let's talk about this undisputed heavyweight showdown rematch. Yes. Obviously, there's controversy attached to the first one. I mean, some people say the blow was clean. Some people felt, obviously, Usyk's team felt the blow was low.
I thought
you thought it was low? Barack, what did you think?
Well, I talked to other referees. They thought it was good. But at the end of the day, the referee has the hardest job. We can see that it was possibly a clean shot because of instant replay.
Right.
Real time,
right.
You're not real time, that looks low. I'm not going to lie, because it's hitting your shorts. So it looks low in real time. So I say, you know what? He got back up. You still could have did another body
So you're
shot,
saying an instant
but you
replay,
didn't.
it looked clean in your eyes?
It looked clean in the instant replay.
Right.
Because it's not. We're looking at it right now. Boom. Now from there you can't even tell. You can see that the referee had the best vantage point, but it looked like a low blow. It was too fast.
But it looks on a borderline on the belt.
It's on the belt.
But I think you look at his face. He was definitely lifted the cut. So it wasn't just the impact to his abdomen.
Yeah, I agree.
He was feeling it in the jewels. But he could have continued. My only criticism of the referee is he forced him to take all that time.
I agree with that.
And Usyk was ready to return like after a minute and a half.
And knowing Usyk, being around him, he's a guy with so much integrity. Obviously a phenomenal fighter. You know, we got him at number two pound for pound in the world. I wouldn't think he's going to lie for something like that. He's a warrior type of fighter. And I kind of believed him. The more I heard him talk.
He didn't lie.
Right.
He went down.
Right.
The referee called it low.
No, I'm saying when there was argument.
Has nothing to do with his integrity
Yeah, you
by
can't hold
saying,
it against
I'm
Usyk.
going to milk this. Right. Whether it's low or not.
That's what a professional does.
Thank you.
In any sport.
He didn't say,
but I'm talking about after the fact. I'm talking about when people are questioning it and keep bringing it up. He's like, no, that was really low.
All right.
All right, so he's being
but
honest.
maybe it was low. Maybe for him it was low.
Either way, they're going to have another opportunity to settle the score in the ring. And
Should be a better fight.
Of course,
Yeah.
and Dubois
He's
on a
coming to his
rampage.
own.
A lot of confidence, a lot of momentum. I mean,
he grew in that fight.
Exactly.
And then he had the fight with Jarrell Miller. That was really good 10 rounds. It brought it out of him.
Right.
It tested it if he really wanted it.
Exactly.
He definitely wanted it. And then I was there in London in September.
The big AJ fight.
Against AJ. That gives him all the confidence in the world right there, that performance.
I think he has confidence in going forward, being the pressure fighter, just going crazy, not really being scared to get knocked out. And that's the problem with some heavyweights. They don't want to get hit. He seems to not care.
Right.
That's a scary heavyweight when you know he has that superpower and he's not scared about getting hit. He's going full force straight ahead.
I like that matchup this time around for sure. Dubois, Usyk, looking forward to that one. Now, tomorrow will be 24 hours away of that fight. Look, first we got the weigh-in. Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. But obviously the press conference, Canelo Skull, that's at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then the weigh-ins, 6 p.m. Eastern time, right here in the Manhattan Center. So open to the public. It's going to be crazy.
Oh my God.
We felt the energy today at the press. I can't imagine what the weigh-in is going to be tomorrow. What a week for boxing.
People in New York are usually more flexible on Fridays. So this is going to be packed tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, how packed?
More than today.
So you think people are going to be waiting outside?
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I can't wait to the fight, but I'm looking forward to the weigh-in. It's one of my favorite events from the fight week, but nothing better than the fight in Times Square. I don't know what streets are going to be closed off. All I know, people are going to be hanging off the building through windows, hotels. People are going to be watching big screens all over. Barack, you and I are going to be hosting a pre-show from the Bubblegum Shrimp. I can't wait. Tune in tomorrow to the weigh-in here on DAZN. Peace and love, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Haney. This is what happens when you lose.
Enjoy your rest, Ryan. You're gonna need it.
Enough talk. Get to the fight already.
Hey, Haney! Come on! More like the Lion King.
The dream? More like
You're a cheater, ain't gonna do shit. Be the juice combo. You're a cheater, you're a Ryan.
grab your crying apple.
No more Austria.
chill, boys.
Seriously?
It's a memory. Not before us.
Drinks all around.
Something's got a hold on.
Charlie, get up here.
I said, oh, 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 hey, yeah. Something's got a
Final Destination, Bloodlines, rated R, in theaters May 16th. See the new trailer now.
$90 calories, 2.6 carbs, the only lighter than light beer that's worthy of being called Corona. Welcome to the premier side of light.
Why do you want to bring back Manhattan?
You see, power equals power. It's a gentrifying neighborhood. What do you expect? I dare any mainlander to set foot on this island.
I'm not playing your games.